Feedback Learnex, English forever.
Based on the book Algorithm for Happiness, today on Feedback Learnex, we will talk about this interesting equation that its author, Mo Gaudat, touched on the issue of how it has become a human tendency to get rid of stress and achieve happiness at whatever cost. When a book arises from a strong emotion, it always attracts the power of its vital evidence before the paused thought. But when in a sane book, the force of the real thing joins with the structured reflection, it has an enormous impact in its reading. This happens with the book of Mo Gaudat, with the added attraction that the author is the chief business officer of Google. This book wants to look for the fashion of human equations, trend of people analytics, but to see it synthesize the main discoveries of psychology applied to work. The obsession for permanent happiness in an engineer's mind like that of Mo Gaudat leads to planning a simple equation, a taxonomy of moods, and a mnemonic rule to analyze the illusions and the breaks to be happy. Being happy is an attitude that surrounds our thoughts and aptitudes. The book is structured in 3 points: an equation of happiness, a clarification of moods, and a rule of illusions, dead angles, and truths. Second, the author speaks of a clarification of moods: state of confusion, losing the lucidity of thought; suffering state, negative thinking; state of evasion, suspended thinking; state of happiness, positive thinking; state of bliss, overcome confusion of thought. We move from one state to another according to the equation at each moment, and we must ensure that we are spending more time in the state of happiness, bearing in mind that true happiness consists in being in harmony with life as it is. But you cannot achieve permanent happiness, but we use models of human intervention that allow us to overcome the illusions that generate confusion, the blind spots that cloud your judgment, the assimilation of truths. To achieve a higher level in the state of happiness, we must fight against 6 illusions that generate confusion, mitigate 7 blind spots that cloud our judgments. First of all, to be in permanent happiness, to assume the 5 useful truths as soon as possible. This rule, 675, reflects these 18 concepts. The 6th rule: 6 illusions that can prevent giving meaning to the world. Number 1, positive thinking. Happiness is always found in the positive aspect of each concept. Number 2, me. Happiness is expressed in being yourself, no matter what others say, but assuming you are not the star of the movie. Number 3, knowledge. Happiness consists in understanding the immensity of our ignorance and accepting that it is the thought that comes from our knowledge that makes an event good or bad. Number 4, time. Happiness is fundamentally anchored in the present. Therefore, living in the here and now makes you appreciate your own happiness. Number 5, control. Happiness is in dispensing with the need for control and choosing your attitude towards living without having control. Number 6, fear. Happiness is to face your fears, and you have to focus on the challenges to face your own fears. Rule 7. 7 blind spots that influence the way in which we perceive the world. Number 1, filters. The story your brain tells you is always incomplete. Number 2, assumptions. It is a story produced by your brain, and that is not the truth. Number 3, predictions. They are only future possibilities produced by your brain. They have not happened, and therefore they are not the truth. Number 4, memories. They are nothing more than the record of what you believe happened. Often they turn out not to be true. Number 5, tags. When there is an absence of context, labels often hide the truth. Number 6, emotions. We are not as rational as we believe. Our irrational emotions often cloud our perception of the truth. Number 7, exaggeration. What overcomes the truth by exaggeration distorts its value. Rule number 5, 5 ultimate truths and what you need to understand life. Number 1, now. Whatever you do, put all your attention into it and live your life in the here and now, not inside your head. Number 2, change. It is not about accepting the change, but about thanking the change. Number 3, love. How to make the person happier, knowing that love is all you need. Number 4, death. Rents a full and happy life. Number 5, design. Accept the design of your universe and learn that life always meets realistic expectations. In this sense, 675 is about analyzing what prevents us from giving meaning to life, or illusions, what influences how we perceive, blind spots, and what we have to accept, our ultimate truths. We are faced with a book that begins with the force of a devastating experience, the death of a child, but that teaches us to take a path to happiness from complete unhappiness. The author, with his engineering perspective, offers us an operational model of understanding the complexity of happiness. Nobody is happy by spontaneity, but the vital swing brings you to different states, being the statistic of the times that you are happy more valuable than a pretend feigned happiness. Assuming all the variables that affect happiness correspond to our way of being implies that we can all be happy if we make these variables conscious. This is the lesson of the book. You are the only one responsible for your own happiness. That's it for this week's edition of Feedback Learnex. Hope you learned to be happy. See you next week.
Feedback Learnex, English Forever. Estamos en sintonía. Feedback Learnex, English Forever. Feedback Learnex, English Forever.